The exercises that you do for growing your arms do not matter that much. The main primary muscle in your biceps is the biceps brachii. All right, and it's got two heads. We've got the short head and the long head. And you can see here that the short head originates on the coracoid process of your scapula, your shoulder blade. The long head travels north through the intertubicular groove of your humerus, takes a right-hand turn, or a left, depending on which arm we're looking at, and then ends up attaching nearby the short head. And they come down onto your arm to form the muscle belly, the big bulging part that we all want to be massive, and conjoin to form a singular tendon that attaches onto your forearm bone, the radius. The biceps brachii has three functions. One is to flex your elbow, take your elbow from being straight to bent. Two is to supinate your wrist, turn your palm upwards. If you take your arm and you hold it in this position and then you turn your palm to face you without changing the angle of your elbow, you can see that the biceps contracts. Okay, and the third function is to raise your arm up overhead because of its origination points in the shoulder on your scapula. It also activates or contracts when raising your arm up overhead. Okay, another muscle is the brachialis, less complex, just crosses the elbow joint, originates on your upper arm bone, the humerus, only acts to flex the elbow. The main way that you're going to grow the biceps brachii and the brachialis, which are the two muscles that are going to lead to mass in your biceps region, are by flexing your elbow, taking your arm from a straight position to a flexed position. All right, it doesn't need to be that much more complicated. You can't really do that much to lead to like specifically shaping the short head versus the long head versus the width from the brachia. It's just bullshit, man. And for 99% of people who just want to have bigger arms a little bit, you stop focusing on that. And that's the problem, is that you're getting suckered in to be like, oh, I'm just starting out and I have 12-inch arms. I need to do this for my short head and that for my long head and that for my brachialis, and put the elbow behind my body to stretch and put it overhead to contract. I need to do it this way and that way. And I have to do 9 different exercises. And it's like, dude, you have 13-inch arms, pick 3 movements and just push really hard, show up consistently, progress the weight that you can do, up the amount of sets over time, train a little bit more often, adjust your rest times, use some different tempos, hone your process to feel and contract and control the muscle and push yourself harder and harder, always show up. That's what you need to focus on, man. Just simplify it, get rid of all that garbage, and just pick 3 movements that you enjoy. There's some variety in them. Perfect. You're hitting the muscle a little differently with each movement. You don't need to worry about it any more than that. Okay, the triceps muscle has got 3 heads, and the long head is the most unique in that it originates on your shoulder blade, on your scapula, so it crosses the shoulder joint. And the other 2, the lateral head and the medial head, originate on your humerus, your arm bone. And then all 3 of them cross your elbow joint. So the lateral head and the medial head only perform elbow extension, taking the arm from a flexed position into a straight position. The long head performs elbow extension because it crosses the elbow joint, but it also crosses the shoulder joint. So it also performs shoulder extension. So taking your arm from up overhead, that's shoulder flexion, and then bringing it down behind your body is shoulder extension. So keeping that in mind, changing the elbow position, whether you're up overhead, that's going to put the long head more of a stretch because you're doing the opposite of its function. Its function is to extend your arm behind its body. Function meaning the muscle contracts. When the muscle shortens and contracts, it performs its function. So putting your arm behind your body contracts and shortens the muscle. Putting it up overhead lengthens and stretches the muscle. So you do movements where, like the dumbbell tricep extensions overhead, the long head's in more of a stretch position. You do movements like a cable kickback with your elbow behind your body, the long head of the tricep is in a more shortened position. End of the day, dude, the main primary focus of the triceps muscle is to extend your elbow. So any movement where you extend the elbow is going to hit the triceps. If you're really fucking worried about trying to bias one head over the other head, you're an idiot. Stop. Just do elbow extensions to grow this piece of meat here. You don't need to think about it with any more complexity than that. And I'd rather you just pick 1 or 2 bicep exercises and focus on tracking and being able to do more weight for more reps within that movement. Because at the end of the day, the muscle is very simple. Same thing for triceps. Pick close grip bench, pick overhead tricep extensions. Those are the 2 movements I'm going to rock with for a couple months. And I'm going to focus on being able to do more weight for more reps. I'm going to scale up the amount of sets that I do. I'm going to hit it with intensity, hit it with a good amount of volume, hit it pretty frequently. And every time I go in there, I'm going to try to get an extra rep. That's what's going to lead to the growth for you, not hyperfixating on isolating this head and that head. There's simple muscles. Elbow bending, elbow straightening grows the arms. It doesn't need to be more complicated than that. Stop falling for all the content and the bullshits that's selling you on doing all these different freaking movements, and that's what's going to lead to growth. When you don't even push hard, you don't even show up consistently, and you don't scale up your training over time. That's the shit that actually makes you grow. This is based on my personal experience. I've done what you're doing. I've fallen for it for several years. I've been through it. I've experimented with it, and I'm telling you, this is the main takeaway that I've found after a decade plus. Hope that helps. Have a great day.